Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 9 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone's having a great day, safe day. Let's make it a great night, folks. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Where are we going to go here? There we go. Shuffle into this deck. Love is kind and just. When you're in love, a smile is always on your face. You feel good about yourself, and because you're happy, you are kind. Love is also just. When you make a mistake, you pay for it only once for that mistake. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We ended our industrials down 21, NASDAQ up 12, S&P's flat, gold contract down $10.90, trading at $1,285 an ounce. Silver down 12 cents, traded at $19.05 an ounce. Copper flat at $3.02 a pound. Light sweet crude down 32 cents, trading at $99.42 a barrel. Bonds, folks, are a trip, no doubt. 10-year up 5 ticks at 124.19 with conviction, by the way. 30-year up 20 ticks at 135.18. Rates are coming down, folks. We'll go through the 10-year in a few minutes. The 30-year had already confirmed the ABC structure on the way up. That baby's going to be running to 138, 139. King dollar up 48 ticks, trading out at 79.58. You have the euro flat at 138.64, and the yen trading at 102.30. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world. In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do you have? Okay, so check it out. We have a flat market. We are at 1882.77 on the cash S&P. We got to 1888.59. The 1888.59 crawled over the swing point of last week, which was 1884.89. We did 695 million shares. The correlation there would be the 695 going into the 22nd. The 22nd, we did 679. Yesterday, we did 908. Okay, so now let's go to the SPY, because this market is just, you know, to me, you could say that, yeah, we have a failure here at the 188.40 because we're at 188.32, but guess what? This thing wants to just launch into the 189.70. I don't, you know, my take is that if we spike it, you'll spike it, but it'll fail. It's just deviant enough that you're up here, you're close enough to it that I suspect it wants to hit it. We have the jobs number that's coming out tomorrow, so you'll have, well, normally, let's put it this way, normally you're going to have high volatility. Because of the way that we're trading this week, like one of the tigers in the den was saying yesterday, for a Fed day, it was the calmest Fed day we've seen in a while. That's kind of how it's been all week, folks. Light volume, you're coming out the tops. I suspect, guess what, even though the jobs number is going to come out tomorrow, I suspect the Dow, we're at 16,558. It will spike it at the 16,661. We got the 604 today. It missed it by, what, 57 points. More than likely, you're going to see it hit it. Now, Dow, S&P, yeah, they're the strongest indices. Do they want to go higher? They can go slightly higher, but they're going to give it up. NASDAQ, different ballgame. NASDAQ is screaming it wants to go downtown. NASDAQ got to a price point today, the composite, to 4149. You're at 4127. We had 2 billion shares, another contraction of volume. NASDAQ's having a hard time getting any juice at all. Russell 2000, same setup in the Russell 2000. What you have with the Russell 2000, she basically was flat. Russell 2000 was 1124. If we go first we'll take a look at the 3 Qs. What you had with the 3 Qs is that we did volume of 36 million shares. That 36 is going against the spike that was on the 24th of 48 million, but it's going against the downdraft also of 131 million. Okay, the correlation is pretty intense, meaning that, hey, we're going downtown. The IWM, we take a look at the IWM. I expect what you're going to see, by the way, on the NASDAQ tomorrow is the same type of flat market. The IWM, that was flat out here today. Now, what the IWM is saying, and check this out, this is a trip, okay, is that the IWM had an expansion of volume, 75 million, You're going into 66. You're going into 74. It's like, okay, man, look at this thing. That IWM is going to at least get to the high again of today, and it very well could try to get into the 113. So that's where some divergence is. Now, when we look at those indices, you know, when we looked at the monthlies yesterday, what you had with the monthlies is that the NASDAQ 100 NDX came off the high with volume. The S&P, it's flat up there. The Dow is flat up there. The small caps was a toss-up. So that small cap looks like, guess what? It's going to at least try to test the high of today. And that's why when we start putting this together, that's why I'm looking at tomorrow, you know, we're going to have another flat market, even whatever the jobs number says, whatever it says. Now, gold market. Gold market's a beautiful thing out here this morning. All day, actually. So, trying to jam gold down. When we were actually doing the morning routine this morning, that's when the jam came, and it was a beautiful jam down, no doubt. Got down to 1277, absolutely no juice on the way down. You had fast price destruction without volume, and that's, folks, how markets, particularly the gold market, loves to make lows. Had it in spades. When we take a look at the daily, what we have set up on the daily is this. You did 110,000 contracts, and you benchmark on this. You have two separate benchmarks in the metals contract. Your biggest benchmark is the downdraft that was created on the 15th of April. We went from a price point of 1328 to 1284. We did that with 189,000 contracts. Smacked it down, right? But guess what? It couldn't get by that swing point, the lowest swing point. So if you don't hit a swing point, folks, guess what? That's the market's not talking, walking, and squawking. All of the above. So what do? You drift lower. We drift lower. We spike the April lows. When we spiked the April lows and rejected the April lows at 12, the April lows in the contract was 1277. We got down to a price point of 1268. And then we closed at 1290. So you spiked a swing point, had lighter volume, rejected the price. So guess what we did today? This is so cool because if you have my book, The Art of Time in the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, what you're going to know is that cause and effect is a huge deal inside the marketplace. What do we have out here today? Guess what? It's a beautiful thing. You come back into the 24th. We come back into the 24th with 110,000 contracts. We get down to the 1277 mark, but the 1277 mark doesn't mean a thing, folks. The low was 1268. The 1277.40 was the low of April 1st. We still get into the April 1st with lighter volume. We got into the spike down of the 24th with dramatically lighter volume, 110,000 versus 189,000. That is saying this is not only a bottom, it's turning into a bottom that's holding pretty tight. Are we going to test it again tomorrow? I don't think so. This test here, what they try to do with this test, by the way, because we were right in front of the machines when this was happening, is that they were slamming it down, trying to find every stop that was down there. Guess what? There's no more stops underneath these levels. That's what's going on. So what does that say? Well, you can't bust it down. Guess what? It's going to try to bust higher. What we are going to need is this. We're going to need wide price spread. We're going to need accelerated volume in order to get through the downdraft from the 15th. That's how that whole baby is shaking out. I expect you're going to get it. Who knows where it's going to come from? You're going to get it. That's what you need in order to get to higher price. Now, silver. Let's go over to the silver market. They took silver, and silver is a different setup, by the way, folks. Okay, different setup. So, what does silver do? Silver is always more volatile. There's no two ways about it, okay? We got down to a price point of 1868 today. It took out all the lows. We closed at 1906. That, folks, is not only sweet, it's sweet in an extraordinary way. The reason being is that the same phenomena took place. No volume, wide price spread, price destruction, no volume. Guess what? Silver's going higher, too. You stay right there, folks. We're coming right back. This is Tom O'Brien. This is TFNN. We had the Dow finish down 21. NASDAQ up 12. S&Ps were flat. Gold down 1080 bonds. To the moon. We'll be right back.